Quinoa is a Dr. Sebi-approved grain and is one of the oldest crops to have been domesticated in the Andean region of South America, and archaeological evidence of its importance in the daily diet dates back to approximately 7,000 years ago. In modern times, due to its outstanding nutritional value, the quinoa grain has become so instrumental on the world stage that the United Nations declared 2013 the International Year of Quinoa. To learn more about Dr. Sebi-approved grains, visit www.veganchoicefoods.com. Health benefits of quinoa. The quinoa grain is rich in essential nutrients when compared to whole grains, particularly protein, as well as in soluble fiber, and it is considered a medicinal food with several health benefits, mainly contributing to muscle formation. Quinoa contains all essential amino acids necessary for building muscle, especially in vegetarians and vegans. Since it is free of gluten-free, quinoa can be safely eaten by those with celiac disease or gluten intolerance. 1. Decreasing chronic disease risks. A study has shown that eating quinoa can decrease cholesterol levels, thus lowering the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. 2. Obese adults can also benefit from quinoa's effects on lowering the prevalence of metabolic syndrome. 3. Aiding metabolic function. This Andean superfood offers more than just complete nutrition. It also helps decrease cholesterol, blood pressure, and blood sugar, thus reducing the risk of heart disease and diabetes. Additionally, the dietary fiber in quinoa can help stool formation and encourage bowel movements, hence relieving constipation. Quinoa is also naturally low in sodium, which makes it a fit choice for everyone, especially those with high blood pressure and other diseases where excessive sodium intake is a concern. How it works. Most quinoa properties are determined by a high amount of essential amino acids, which are transformed into bioavailable protein. Quinoa possesses 8 amino acids that the human body can't produce. They are considered essential for both children and adults, not only to be transformed into protein and muscle, but also for aiding in many other metabolic functions. These amino acids include isoleucine, a blood glucose-lowering amino acid, leucine, which is crucial for building and maintaining muscle mass, lysine and methionine, both required for growth and tissue repair, phenylalanine, which plays a key role in the biosynthesis of other amino acids, threonine, an immunostimulant that promotes endocrine health, tryptophan, which is required for infant growth and brain serotonin synthesis, and valine, which promotes mental vigor, muscle coordination, and emotional calmness. Hypoglycemic and nutritious properties are also present in beans and sasha inchi. Quinoa side effects. Quinoa is a safe food that rarely provokes allergies or gastrointestinal comfort. Because quinoa grains or seeds contain a large amount of saponin and phytic acid, however, it is important to rinse them thoroughly and cook them before consumption in order to avoid the mildly irritating effects and nutrient absorption problems of these compounds. Cooking quinoa, instead of soaking or germinating it, is recommended in order to fully take advantage of its nutritional content. Quick facts. Medicinal action: cardioprotective, nutritious. Key constituents: essential amino acids, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. Ways to use food: powder. Medicinal rating: 4, very useful plant. Safety ranking: safe. Quinoa news and research. Andean grains confirmed to be excellent sources of phenolic compounds. Andean grains confirmed to be excellent sources of phenolic compounds. Obese and overweight adults can lower triglyceride levels with quinoa. Obese and overweight adults can lower triglyceride levels with quinoa. Quinoa flour biscuits reduce various cardiovascular disease risks. Quinoa flour biscuits reduce various cardiovascular disease risks. Quinoa benefits and properties. Quinoa nutrition. Although the quinoa grain is really a seed, it is widely considered as a pseudo-cereal, mainly due to its botanical profile, as well as for its culinary uses and high levels of nutrients. Quinoa is a great source of essential amino acids, which are transformed into protein and help building muscle mass. It is also rich in dietary fiber, necessary for glucose metabolism and a smooth digestion, and contains adequate levels of healthy fats, both monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, which help reduce the risk of high cholesterol and heart disease. Quinoa is a powerhouse of minerals, including manganese, copper, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, and zinc, all of which are necessary for cellular metabolism, as well as for healthy bones and the well-functioning of nerves and muscles. It also provides adequate levels of potassium and selenium, both important for the nervous and immune systems. This Andean grain is a good source of B-complex vitamins, mainly B1, thiamine, B2, riboflavin, and B9, folate, and its nutritional value is rounded by adequate amounts of B3, niacin, and B6, pyridoxine, as well as choline and vitamin E, alpha-tocopherol. A cup of cooked quinoa, 185 g, provides 222 calories, as well as 16%, 13%, and 21% of the dietary value for protein, carbohydrates, and dietary fiber, respectively. How to consume quinoa. Quinoa can be found as a food in a variety of forms, such as quinoa flour, quinoa powder, toasted quinoa, quinoa flakes, and as whole, raw quinoa. Natural forms. Cooked. Previously dried and washed to eliminate the saponins that give the grains a slightly bitter taste, it is recommended to cook quinoa very well in order to completely eliminate any trace of phytic acid, tannins, and protease inhibitors, all of which interfere with the absorption of nutrients. Flour. In the same way as whole grains, quinoa flour needs to be cooked, and it is often used to enrich the nutritional content of wheat flour in baked goods, such as bread and cakes. Quinoa flour is also preferred by people who are gluten intolerant or have celiac disease. It is often mixed with other gluten-free flours, such as barley and rice. Powder. This form of consumption is a very practical one since it allows for a direct intake without the need for cooking quinoa before consumption. Quinoa powder can be safely mixed into smoothies and shakes as a supplement in order to add an extra punch of nutrition to a healthy diet. Toasted. When previously toasted, the Andean grain preserves all its nutritional properties and none of the toxins that make it unpalatable in its raw form. It is a great option to add a nutty flavor to salads and smoothies while also as a topping for savory or sweet dishes. Flakes. In the same fashion as rolled oats, quinoa flakes can be prepared in morning porridge, added to salads and desserts, or mixed with beverages. This form still provides the same nutritional benefits as the previous ones.